Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Alright, as those guys get the last pieces off from the last log I did in the previous video, you'll notice one of the first things I do is go clean the bunks off. And then I push those swing out bunks back against the main rail. That's to protect the sawmill bed when loading logs. You always want to roll those out. And then, look at this one. It wasn't a big log, so it was pretty easy for them to grab it and kind of hold on to it, but obviously it wasn't positioned very well. And you'll notice that it's kind of bent. So we'll talk about that here a little bit. Once we get it pushed down the deck, which you'll notice I use the roller toe boards, just kind of lift them up and then they can push the log down for me. You see that sweep? If you look really carefully, at any time I'm looking down, like right here, you can see the sweep to the log. This is what I'm talking about when I say hooks to the right. You'll notice that the sweep of the log was facing to the right. What that means is that my stress right now is on a horizontal plane. It's moving left to right, not up and down, right? So we'll take that top off, long skinny log. So we're just taking as much off as we can, get an opening face, roll it up 90 degrees. And again, you can see the sweep, especially down there near the mill head. You can see how it really kind of runs up right there. We're going to have to work with that. And no matter what you make, you've got a certain amount of stress here that you just can't mill out. Wood's going to move. But you can place that reasonably well to where you want it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down past that sweep, check what my average height is there, come back and drive below that. So you're going to see here that I'm actually going to come down right above the pith. The black dot was actually above it. I take it out, and I'm taking out a deep swath right here because I'm trying to take out as much as I can. So when I get to the far end, I've got that opening face. I also had the toe board lifted up, so I dropped it right there. Now I'm going to roll it 90 degrees again. Toe boards are down. Thank you, Dave. And you'll notice it's a little flatter on top now. So this is the third roll. So the first roll, stress is horizontal. Then it's vertical. Now it's horizontal again. So you can remember that. Now in this case, it's not as important because we're making a beam. And for a beam, I mean, it's going to end up going up, crown up. And so we're still going to try to take as much stress out as we can. But we also realize since we're making a 6x6 beam, it's something that he's going to set on top of posts, it's fine. It'll have a crown. We'll put the crown up. It'll be structurally stronger that way. And yeah, it's kind of a bent small piece, but it is what it is. You've got to work with what you got. So what we're doing at that point is just trying to whittle it down to get as much wane off as we possibly can. So you'll notice that's about a 1/2 inch skin cut right there. Just taking enough off to try to remove some of that wane so that I can get in the best possible beam I can out of this log. Now, you know, sometimes you just can't get what you want, but that's all right. We get as much as we can, and in the end, if a little bit of wane's left on it, it's okay. This one's pretty long, so we're going to cut the ends off anyway, but we're still going to whittle it down just a little bit here, a little bit there, take as much off as we can. We're really salvaging this small bent log. Some of you might look at it and think, what a waste of time, right? Why spend so much time on one 6x6 beam? Well, some of us don't like to just buck everything up into firewood. If I could use it for something else, I will. In this case, the customer wanted a beam out of it. So you know what? I'm going to make a beam out of it. It might take a little bit longer. It's less worthwhile. But on the other hand, if you go try to price out a full dimension 6x6 beam that's 16, 17, 18 feet long somewhere, guess what? It's going to be a lot more expensive than having you know it. Now you'll notice there we went ahead, we bucked off that end. It was so badly sweeping that there was just no point in trying to mess with this one. So it's not that I won't cut an end off and shorten a log up if it's got a bad bend to it. That one, you know, was just too much. The one before, I figured I could make that one work, and I did. Obviously this one, not so much. So we cut the end off, go ahead and mill it down. Alright, we're getting this one knocked down now. Finally getting down below it. You'll notice I'm not wearing that N100 mask you might have seen me wear in a previous video. I'll be honest with you, when it gets warm out and I'm working hard and I'm really, going back and forth on the mill, running the mill hard, it just gets to be too much. It's just hot, it's hard to work with, so it ends up coming off. And I'd really love to switch that debarker like the new ones and push it in the other direction. I think that would help a lot. So that's why you don't see it. And again, here you go. You saw that I went ahead and edged those out against the cant. That's something that I do commonly. Now you'll notice in this case I didn't mill the cant down, and in the past I've mentioned that I intend to actually mill cants all the way down now and just leave a couple pieces of lumber on there and put the pushes against those. But it also depends on what I'm making. In this case I'm actually milling a beam up, so why not go ahead, just put them up against the cant, mill them down. The cant is the beam. We're going to get the beam off later. So there you have it, folks. Another log off the deck. Lots more to go, as you can see. This was a great couple guys here working with me up on Badger Mountain. They worked really hard. You can see they're running around a lot. I appreciate all the hard work, guys. And Brett, appreciate the business. All right, folks, that's all I've got for you today. However, check this other video out. If you haven't seen it, I think you'll enjoy it. Y'all have a great weekend. The old Jarhead out.